Hello, friends from around the world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we are here to talk about new releases for manga for January 2023. Hector and we work for Penguin Random House, and we manage sales around the world. So the titles that we'll talk about today are those that we can sell internationally. So in terms of like the other breakdown of how we're going to present this, we have picks that we're particularly excited for that we'll go through. And then we'll go over some volume ones for the month of January. And then we'll flip through the rest of the list so you could see what else is coming out for that month. We are also on social media, so definitely check us out on PRH International Comics. I'll link the social media sites in the description below. So aside from YouTube, we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like, I had to think through all of our
Yeah,
social media
think about
platforms.
it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get started actually with my first pick that I'm really excited for. And
Yes.
it's called Is Love the Answer? Question mark.
Mhm.
And this is by Uta Izaki. Now, this really drew my attention because I don't see a lot of manga that has to deal with a protagonist who is aromantic and asexual. It's not really represented all that often, so I think it's unique in that way. And it's cool to get to see that in a manga format. So you have the main character who has always known that something like she feels out of place because she doesn't have crushes like other people do, and she doesn't desire any physical intimacy. So it is only when she enters college and she discovers people like her that she understands that there's a label, or there are other people like her and she's not alone in this. And so love the cover, love the flag in the background. So this is something
Yeah,
that I'm particularly excited for the month of January.
very cool. And next is one of my picks is Break at Dawn by Tetsuya Imai. Now this is a manga that has been very, very successful in Japan, and it has been adapted into a movie that has is started showing in Japan in October. So I'm hoping we'll get it in the rest of the world soon. But you can check out the trailer in YouTube. It's amazing. So this is first of all, it's a coming of age story. Takes place in the year 2038. And it's summer, and it's very cool because I love sci-fi. I love that when we go, very far ahead, and then they kind of bring in something very typical, like a very typical storyline. And in this case, it's, a group of kids in summer, but it's 2038 and they're kind of bored. And in this case, this little boy that you see in the cover, Yuma, he is obsessed with this comet that is coming this year. And he goes on the rooftop of this building to get to see it. And he bumps into something that has, a very complicated history, let's say it this way, because we don't want to give away too much. And him and his group of friends needs to get together to resolve an issue that has to do with this. I feel like I don't want to spoil too much, but I will spoil a little bit by saying that it is kind of like an ET story, or combine a little bit with the Goonies, all 80s references for me. It's very beautiful illustrations, and the story seems to be a very sweet action, but also, like I said, coming of age story of these kids getting through the summer. And I love all these stories, but I especially love Tetsuya Imai. I've read some of his stuff before. I think this is the first that Kodansha has published, but I do recommend, any other stories that he has out there because I read them and they're really, really cool.
Mhm. Next up is something that I've I think I talked about many times before.
Yeah.
This is I'm Kinda Chubby and I'm Your Hero, Volume 1, by Noor. And this is about this actor who is he's a rookie, he's just starting out and he's trying to get his breakout role, but he fears that his weight might cause like a barrier to that, and he fears that that's going to become an issue. But then he receives a package of sweets from like a super fan who like does not care that about his weight and just like is cheering him on, this like mysterious fan, and I absolutely love it. And there might be potential romance, might be like look at the genre. So
Yeah.
yaoi. So there definitely is going to be a romantic relationship between these two. I love manga that has to deal with like bonding over food or very cute. This seems very cute. So I
Yeah.
had to pick this.
I,
This is definitely for
I
me.
love the guy's t-shirt, with a teddy bear.
Anyway. And his
I love
facial
it.
expression
And the
too.
facial expression is like, yeah, is he looking at me? And that kind of thing. It's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Next up, it's my other pick is Malevolent Spirits, Mononogatari Volume 1. This is by Onigunso. This has also been adapted. This has been adapted into a series. And recently, I think this week, the trailer came out. It's a series that's gonna it's gonna start playing in January. And this is a sort of a sci-fi action, sorry, fantasy action mystery kind of manga. In this world, there are these vengeful. There's this family that um, has dedicated their life through generations to exercising these spirits. I forget the name of them right now. Sukumogamis, and what they are is spirits that they possess objects, and they sort of become alive, let the objects come alive, sort of like a Beauty and the Beast kind of thing. But it's also we've seen this in other manga and anime. Now the storyline is this: the boy that you see here in the cover, he's part of this family. He's the newer generation, but one of these spirits does something and takes away something from him. They don't say in the description, kind of keep it a mystery. So he hates these spirits, while his family is supposed to just exercise these spirits, but in a peaceful and lovable, make it sort of a peaceful transition to the other world. So his grandfather, worried that he has this hate for these spirits and he can't do his work, his job right, sends him to live with this girl that you see in the cover, and her name is Bhutan, and she is very friendly with these spirits to the point that she lives with some of them. So his the grandfather sends him to live with her so he can get used to living with these spirits, see that they're not harmful, and also kind of learn from her on how to, be more, kind of accept these spirits a little bit more, and then do the transition and the exorcisms the right way.
Mhm.
I love this story. I saw the previews. I highly recommend you see the previews for it. But I think this is one we definitely have to read because I think it's going to have a lot of drama in it. Obviously,
Yeah. The promo video is great.
it
It's
is
like
very good.
I'm so intrigued
Yeah.
by it.
Yes.
All right, so actually, next up, we're going to go into volume ones for January. So, first up is a condition called love. And Haratu, the main character, doesn't need a boyfriend, but an act of kindness to a classmate going through a breakup opens the door she never thought to step through, and everything begins to change, as needs to happen in
Of
order to
course.
for the drama to commence.
Yeah.
So this is like if you're into shoujo romances, which is like
Mhm.
I love it. This is definitely a title for you. Next up, we have I Actually the Strongest? This is the light novel. This is the original light novel series of the popular isekai manga. And then right next to it, you see that manga volume 1 here as well. And then following that, we have As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world, the volume 1, a light novel. So it's a hit light novel series with, my gosh, over 30 million online views in Japan.
Yeah.
We have this physical edition.
Next up is Barbarites 1. And this is a beautiful boys' love romance inspired by Renaissance Europe, and the dashing Viscount tries to woo a serious nobleman. And I love this like very European Renaissance look of the cover. Um, so that's gonna be fun. Then we have Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro manga box set, which includes volumes 1 through 6 of the mega successful manga that's also being turned into a very successful anime. Next, after that, we have the Ghost in the Shell fully compiled complete hardcover collection. And this collects the original run of Shino Masamune, sorry. Ghost in the Shell includes Ghost in the Shell 1, 1.5, and 2. It's over 800 pages, and like I said, it's hardcover. It's a beautiful edition for fans. And then we have the Great Cleric #1, after ultimately death at untimely death, sorry, as the hardest working salaryman in Japan, Lucille is reincarnated into the magical fantasy world of Galdaria. That sounds fun too.
Yes. All right, continuing on, we have The Night Blooms Behind Castle Walls, Volume 1. So this is very, like if you look at the illustrations, very beautiful to look at. This is a slice of life fantasy. A young girl sets out to become a valiant knight by first serving as a squire. We have My Secret Affection, Volume 1. And if you ever see these covers with like characters as titles, like these are not the final covers, just so that you are aware.
Yeah.
So in this one, we have this another Sojo manga, and it's very gay, which I like as well. So in this one, what happens when a girl likes a boy in this new reality? So in this reality, like being gay is like it's not it's like a widespread, it's normal. It's like a normalized, not to say it's not, I don't want to
We know what you
you know what
mean.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
in this, it's more accepted,
Accepted. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to say that. Anyway,
So
it's more accepted.
widespread accepted.
It's
Yeah,
widespread spread acceptance in this universe, which I like to read about.
yeah.
And then we have My Sister the Cat, Volume 1. This is a slice of life comedy. A young man is adopted into a family of cats, which I like,
I love
who
that
live like
premise.
humans,
Yeah,
which is so interesting, which makes sense. Like when you have cats of your own, like they own you.
yeah, yeah,
And then we have number 6, Omnibus 1. This includes volume 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So this is like a classic dystopian manga where you have like two boys who uncover the truth, the terrible conspiracy that turned city number 6 on its head. It's a 3-in-1, as you can see here. So it's an omnibus edition with like really large pages, which is nice to see. And
yeah.
as I mentioned, includes volume 1 and 3.
Yes. Next up, we have Polar Bear Cafe Collector's Edition Volume 1. And this is the collector edition of this charming slice of life manga about a cafe run by a polar bear that is inspired by a beloved anime. Then we have Sweet Poolside from the creator of Blood on the Tracks, Shuzo Oshimi, which, if you hear some of the previous videos we've done, you know I'm a big fan of. And then we had The World's Fastest Level Up Light Novel, Volume 1. And then finally, we have Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku, the complete manga box set. And that is it for the number ones and box sets. And what like G mentioned at the beginning, we're now gonna leave you with a few slides of the rest of the list of the rest of the mangas, the continuing volumes for that are coming out in the month of January. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like G mentioned, we're on social media, not just on this YouTube channel, so you can follow us PRH International Comics, and we'll leave some links in the description. And we hope you like these, and feel free to comment and like our videos. So we'll leave you with some more titles to watch. Thank you.